There are times where you need to insert a sublist in the middle of a long list of items. And here in my copy of the Declaration of Independence, you can see that I have each of the grievances that the colonists expressed against the King of England, all listed here as list items. But I've noticed here that beginning with this one at line 92, it says he is combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution, and so on. And then right below that, the list items begin with the word for. And so they're consistently this way, for, all the way down to about line 109. So what I want to do is I want to come in and just change all of these that begin with the word for from being on the same level of a list and make them sort of like a sublist. All right, to do that, I'm going to begin by just marking off where I want to work by putting in a couple of blank lines so I can see clearly what it is that I'm trying to do. Now, in order to create a sublist, I have to be very careful about my syntax. The rules of syntax for lists require that I take this closing li, this closing tag. I have to take that closing tag, and I'm going to Control X to delete that. I'm going to bring it down here and put it right down here, because all of this list here is going to be nested inside of this one list item here. So I can just go ahead and highlight these and drive them over a little bit with my tab. And since I want all of this to be within a UL group, then I'm just going to highlight the group, Control Shift A, and I want to make sure that this is a UL. Press Enter. I'll just drive this down, pull this up a little bit to make it look a little bit easier, neater here. Here's the closing UL down here. And so now I have my list all created. The thing that you have to remember here is that this list item here, the one that's going to have the nest under it, has to be split. We have to take that closing li tag and move it down and then put the nested list inside of that. Let me give you just an example here. Going to a blank file, and I'm just going to use Emmet here. I'm going to create a UL list, and in this list I want some list items, and in those list items I want them to have some text, so I'm just going to call them item and to give it the number value, and let's have 8 of those. So now I have 8 numbered list items in an unordered list, item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say that I want to have a numbered or another list nested inside of item 4 right here. So I'll simply come to right after the 4 and just drive that down a little bit to give me some room. I'm going to tab over so I don't get confused about where I'm at. So UL, LI, and let's just do this again. I'll have item, and we'll just call these item A, and let's just do 4 of these. All right, so now we can see that I have a list here of items. If I press Control S to save this and pull this over and look at it, you can see now that I have my item 1, 2, 3, 4 in place, and I can see that item A here falls in line with the subnest for item 4, and then I come right back because I've closed this list item here for item 4. Then I come right back and pick up with list item 5. So it's important that you learn to always nest correctly these subnests, these sublists. If you don't, you'll get validation errors and your code won't work as well as it should. So be sure you pick up on how to use the syntax.